everyone. We are finally here. We have Laker basketball today, and I cannot be more excited, as I'm sure many of you watching this video cannot be more excited as well. So I wanted to make this video kind of diving into what I expect and what I'd like to see in the upcoming just preseason in general, especially today's game. And of course, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions, so let me know down in the comment section below. So right off the bat, obviously we've been in training camp. Obviously you had all the offseason drama, and then with the trades and Russell Westbrook and stuff like that. But he seems willing, he seems bought in. There are even reports that Russell Westbrook has worked on his shooting form and has been a better shooter so far from what they've seen. We got a lot of new acquisitions, new players, new coach, new culture, new environment, new everything. And we are starting to lay the blueprints in training camp. That's the whole point of training camp, right? Working on sets, working on plays, working on lineups, things like that. And I really just want to see that translate well in preseason. Now, obviously, we don't want to go 0-6, right? That's never a good sign. But I don't want too many people to overreact to preseason. Whether we win by 30 every game or we lose by 20 every game, whatever. It comes down to what are the results based on the actual gameplay from the important players. Because like LeBron, Westbrook, if Davis plays, things like that, they're not going to be playing ample minutes. They're not going to be playing 30, 40 minutes during preseason. So what does it look like when they're in the game? What does it look like when Russ, LeBron, and AD are in the game? Also, what are the goods and what are the bads? The games we lose, what can we take from that were positive that we can use as building blocks for the future? The games that we win, what were the negatives that we can improve as building blocks for the future? Get what I'm saying? Like, regardless, whatever the situation is, whether we win, whether we lose, it's what are the pros and cons? What can we improve in these areas? What are positives that we can really continue to build on? What's working, what's not? And that's what preseason is in a nutshell. What are things that we need to improve on and fix before the season actually begins? And I do think that the Lakers need to really kind of evaluate and take game by game, matchup by matchup, things like that. And regardless, like if we lose, like let's say we lose tonight, how did we lose? What was the situations in which we could improve? If we won, how did we win? Like, what was it? Like, were there ways for us to maximize that win even further than we already did? Did we win by like a game winner? Or did we win by, a reasonable distance? Like how was the gameplay throughout? How did our bench unit go? How did players, adapt? What was our defense like? Things like that. I want to see those intangibles. The losses, you can still gain a lot of really good information, a lot of really good just insight and positives, especially based on how they lost. Did they lose because they just looked terrible and they just weren't ready to play NBA basketball? Or did they lose, because of a couple key plays that could be improved? Or, a couple missed assignments or a missed shot? They break down the gameplay, stuff like that. And then Russ, has he really improved on his shooting? Is he setting the picks? Is he being the role guy? Is he, when he has the ball in his hands, being patient? Is he making the adjustments and sacrifices that it is being reported that he is? If Russ comes into preseason and he's just running rampant, then that's not a good sign come the regular season. But if he's coming in and he's making the moves and he's making the plays and he's, actually knocking down shots and playing defense and setting the screens, the hard screen, stuff like that. Some of the stuff that we saw in the scrimmage games, I really liked what I saw from him. But can that translate to actual NBA games? Now, I do think Russ is going to have moments where he's allowed to even just go be Russ. Especially when LeBron's not in the game, you want to let Russ just kind of go rampant. Here you go, man. It's just you and all these young guys. Make it happen. Let's run. Let's just hightail, get some buckets, get some points. I think that's where Russ is really going to get a bulk of his points, assists, rebounds, stuff like that. I do think he gets some within the scope of play, but I think a lot of it's going to be like when LeBron's not in the game, it's the Russell Westbrook show. Here you go, man. It's you and these guys against like the bench unit or maybe a couple starters in the bench guys. Like you need to go to work. You got like 15, 20 minutes to just go ham and no pun intended, and just, go get your buckets, go get your points, go do your things. Now, I don't think that's necessarily going to happen in preseason. I do think maybe we get it small doses, but for the most part, it's going to be just about play sets, seeing where can we utilize Russ, where does Russ fit in certain, matchups, certain lineups, things like that. This is your trial and error period. This is your time to kind of figure out what can we do that works and what can we do that we need to change because that didn't really work. And that's not just Russ, that's everybody in general. And then of course, the team period. Our guys, playing within the team scope. Or do we have sets and do we have lineups? Do we have, offensive schemes and an offensive identity? Are we playing defense? Do we have a defensive identity? Are we giving up too many easy buckets? No, are we running in transition? Are we, setting the picks and doing the things, the little intangibles that really go into just being a solid team on both sides of the ball? Sacramento, I've said from day one, I really like the Sacramento team. I don't think they're a contender or necessarily a playoff team, but I think they're a very good team that is going to be very young, very fun, and very exciting this season. And I think that they have a lot to prove, and they're going to be trying. They're a team that could be in the play-in, very likely kind of squeeze in, maybe add the playoffs, because, you only have to win 2 games. So, if they're in the play-in and they're facing a couple of these teams, and they get hot and they win 1 or 2 games because they do have a really nice roster. So it's not like they're a bunch of nobody. Sacramento made a bunch of really nice acquisitions this offseason. Herter, they got Malik Monk, guys like that on top of Sabonis and Fox and things. So they really do have a really nice core. Harrison Barnes is somebody else that comes to mind. So this is going to be a good sort of indication of where do we rank against like the middle of the pack teams. Where are we in the sense of like play-in teams? Are we dominant? Are we good? And again, it doesn't matter if we win or lose. Just in the minutes that matter. Are we looking like the far superior team, or does it look like, hey, we're struggling here? Because if we're struggling against these guys, how is it going to look when we play, the Clippers and the Warriors and stuff like that? Again, I don't want to get too caught up in just preseason in general and just games in general. You got to understand, these guys aren't going 100% regardless. Neither side is. Lakers aren't going to be, trying to do everything they can to just kill themselves to go squeeze out a win here. It's just not going to happen. It's preseason. It's not what it's about. It's not necessarily about the wins and losses. It's about building the foundation for the season that is ahead. That's what I want to see. And we'll do after the game. I'll do a live stream, so make sure you're a part of that, and we'll talk about it. We'll see like what was the good, what was the bad, what was the ugly, what was the in between, all of that stuff. And I hope to see you all there to join me for the live stream after the game. And as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think? Are you excited? First off, for Lakers basketball to be back this preseason game? Are you like me? Do you think that, all that you really care about is just what were the things that we can gain from this game, whether we win or lose? Or do you think like, no, like this is a game we have to win, we need to establish, we need to get ourselves together? What do you think our preseason record will be? And what do you think the Lakers, as far as like a team, will look like tonight? I think that'd be another really good question that I'd love to hear your thoughts on. Personally, as far as like how many preseason games we win, of course it'd be nice to go 6-0, but I think realistically we probably land somewhere in the 3-3, 4-2 range, somewhere around there, which I think is fine. You're not, again, it's not about winning all 6 games. If they can, great. I'd love to see that. But even if they do, let's say they go 6-0 and they beat every team by 30, and it's just Lakers are absolutely dominant. Don't put too much into that. Of course we're going to be excited. I will be excited too, but we need to let cooler heads prevail. and I need to do a good job as well of allowing my cool head to prevail, especially, being a content creator and practicing what I preach, because it's hard to get to stay reasonable when, if things are going really good and things are looking really great. But again, we got to keep in mind this is preseason. So let's let cooler heads prevail. And again, love to hear your thoughts and opinions, however you feel. Down. Quick little shameless plug, everyone. If you enjoy my videos and commentary here on this channel, As It Stands Lakers, then check out the link down in the description below and go subscribe to As It Stands. Believe it or not, As It Stands was the first channel. If it wasn't for that channel, this channel would never have existed. Because of the success of that channel, it led me to want to create this Lakers channel. So do me a huge solid. If you're not subscribed over there, go check that out. Go subscribe over there. I talk all things sports, all teams, things like that, not just the Lakers. So if you just enjoy my commentary and want to hear me talk about other things, or you just, are a fan of other sports and other teams, go check that out. I promise you will not be disappointed. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.